Hey, so I made a puzzle feeder. It just has some peanut butter in here. It's one of the sticky ones. So what I'm going to do, unfortunately, our walls don't really take stickies all that well. So I'm going to put it about, let's try here. Oh, let's make it. Teddy, what is this? Look. Oh, perfect height. So you can see, you can kind of see where she's working on. Good girl. She has to work on licking the peanut butter, but it's at a nice height for her. One of these are great for like shower times or if you have to trim their nails. It's also great for positioning training. But making her think, instead of having it on the ground, putting it in a different format can help get her brain going. Licky mats and puzzle feeders are something that you can have stocked that when you need 10 to 15 minutes. So when she's being a terror to everyone in the household, doing something like this, a cupcake tin, a cardboard box that you see up here, have a couple of those prepped, and then when you need to, you throw it out. Here you go, Teddy. Good girl. Now, she doesn't have to have all of that treat that's in there. You can use that for multiple reasons. Good girl. Yes. So what we can also do is, oh, you're so excited. Oh, you're so excited. Hi. Is now we can also make it where, how is she going to solve it? There you go. Teddy, get it. Up here. Now she has to jump up for it. Now she has to think a different way of how to get it off. Oh, that's good girl. Get it. Come on. Get it. She's like, yeah, I don't want to do that. But we could also do it on the reverse, where we put it really low, and she has to, see if I can get this moved over. Whoop. There you go. Now she has to bend over to get the puzzle feeder. Anything that makes her think in a new format, anything that makes her, how do I solve this, is going to help get that mental enrichment, mental engagement drained with her. And she's a smart kid. Holy cow, does she solve some of my puzzles really fast. Good girl. Yes. Yes, good girl, Teddy. Good. Good. So one of the commands that I like to mess with dogs the most is leave it. Now, leave it is a command that I like to joke that it's a command that you can positively torture your dog in a happy, healthy way, which I know torture and healthy don't usually go hand in hand. But what it is it's basically boundary testing. It is a game of push me, pull at me. So traditional way of teaching a leave it command, Teddy, how you doing, kid? She's like, where's that peanut butter? So traditional way that we teach it is they're on a leash. You have a treat in your hand. You're going to toss it behind you, step in front of them and tell them, leave it. You're going to claim the space is yours. So when you claim it, you're not only giving a body signal of mine, but also we're teaching the dog to sit. Yes, good girl. Okay, take it. She has to sit to get whatever the next thing is. Leave it, how I like to teach it, is a general disengagement. It doesn't matter if it's play or food, the dog that you're reacting at, the rattlesnake that you're looking at, the birds, the bunnies, it doesn't matter. Leave it is stop what you're doing and check in with me. Yes, good girl. So by teaching this, you can be clumsy in the kitchen. Uh-oh, I dropped it. Leave it. And if you're not fast enough, that's where that slip lead comes into play, where you can have kind of an anchor point. You can also practice this. Let me move this so you guys can see it. You can also practice this by doing treats right next to her. So you're on the couch, you're doing it on a chair, and I'll do it on a chair so you can see. Woo. Teddy, come here. So she knows the treats are here. I'm going to place the treat on it, and I'm going to tell her leave it. Now, I'm going to either block it with my hand. You can also swipe, where you do it no swipe. Nope. Leave it. And see how she's like, but there's a treat. I don't understand. Hi, yes, good girl. Thank you for checking in. Teddy. Sit. Sit. Nope. Leave it. Leave it. Yes, good girl. Sit. Good. Leave it. See if you can see her face. So can you put a couple treats on here? And it's leave it. So I've asked her to sit. And this is where I can reward her. Yes, good girl. Here's a treat from here. Nope, leave it. No, leave it. Leave it. Now watch her body. Notice how she's starting to go behind the chair. In just a second, leave it. She's probably going to stick her nose. Oh, no. Leave it. She's probably going to stick her nose through the corner or she'll go around. Leave it. No, ma'am. Nope. But this is where we're establishing boundaries. So right now she just is like, I don't care. I can wait it out. I can figure out how to get this around you. When we do this in play, you're going to have a lot more fun with it. If we do this in play with her, she's going to have fun with it. Leave it, ma'am. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. And what she's also learning is that yes, good girl doesn't always necessarily mean I get to help myself afterwards. Yes. So if you've ever told her leave it, and then you said, yay, good girl, and then she goes back to the sock that she's chewing or the dog that she's messing with or the cat that she's messing with, leave it. And this is very normal. I tested that side's boundary. What about this side's boundary? No, doing an arm swipe is kind of similar to your body, but you can also do your body, which will be a little bit more effective because I'm physically pushing her away from the chair with the treats. But if you want to be lazy after a hard day of work, leave it. You can do it where you sit with her and swipe. Totally okay. No, leave it. Yes, good girl. Good girl. You're walking away from it? Yes. Have fun with this. Be ridiculous with this. Leave it. Yes. Practice this for setting a timer for 5 minutes. Do it for 2 minutes. Do a handful of her kibble when it's time to feed her. But when you say leave it, when she's mastered this command, she's going to sit and she's going to look at you. She's going to immediately drop whatever it is and go, I'm keyed in on you. Let's focus. What we're doing. Because that's where she knows all the good things come from you. Right now, she's like, I can make the good things happen. I can decide what I want to do. And what we want her to realize is checking in, yes, is the ultimate. That's what gets her the treats, the praise, the love, whatever. Leave it, ma'am. Now, if you've ever seen dogs covered in dog treats, essentially that's a leave it command. You can do this on the floor. You can do this on chairs. You can do this on counters if we're counter surfing. Set yourself up for success. So when you are doing it in the counters, do it for while you're chopping the carrots for dinner. Do it while you're peeling the apple. Set it for short increments. So that way you have success and she has success. Teddy, leave it. Yes, good girl. She's sniffing where the peanut butter is. Oh no, leave it. Now, why I like to show fails with training is because you're never going to be perfect. It's okay. You're never going to be perfect. Inconsistently consistent is really what ownership is kind of about. Yes, good girl. She's like, I snuck that one on you. Being that you practice and you work on it and you reinforce it and you're building that relationship and bond, you can't really see her, can you? She kind of blends onto the chair. Like, this is a game to her. Okay, so if I look at you, do I get it? No. Okay, what if I sneak this way? Are you still there? It's testing your consistency and what she can expect from you in a pattern behavior, essentially. Yes, good girl. Yeah, you did it. What we're also teaching is impulse control. I want to go for that thing, but you told me no. Am I going to listen to that and pull myself back? Or am I going to go ahead and move forward? Because the other part of this is that I'm not, ideally I can tell her leave it and just give a slight correction on the slip lead. I'm not jumping all the time in front of her because I want her to catch herself. Leave it. Yes. Jessica, girl. Yes. And that's where instead of giving her a treat, I gave her some really big pats and body rubs. And she's like, oh, okay. Some dogs, when you teach a leave it command, get disinterested. So if you ever practice this at home and she's like, screw this, and just walks away, very, 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 very common. So don't be upset if she does that. This is hard. This is boundary pushing. Leave it. Good. You can also practice it when you do belt leash with her, where you set something that is the leave it. And it doesn't have to be treats. It could be the cat. It could be the dog. It could be a family member. And she's stuck on you. And then as you go past it, leave it. Yes, good girl. Can we walk past the thing that she wants? Leave it. Yes. Jessica, girl. Yeah. Good eye contact. And you can give her some praise. Cleaning the house, picking up the dog poop, whatever it is, she has to pay attention. And then leave it. We are also teaching leave it, not just in a stationary perspective, but also in a motion perspective. We're in flow of what we're doing. Yes, good girl. If she likes to chase the Roomba, if she likes to chase the birds, practice leave it. I know. Can you sit? Yes. Good girl. That's a good girl. Let me know if you have any questions on leave it. Be ridiculous with it. Have fun with it. Try it in a bunch of different ways. And it's okay to use your hand to cover it. It's okay to swipe it. It's also okay to jump in front of her. You can use the slip leash to hey, focus. But what we want her to do is learn body proximity as well as her catching herself. Yes, that's a good girl. Leave it. Yes, good girl.